What experience are you having? That's the title of this live. What experience are you having? Is it a good one? Is it a bad one? Is it the same experience as the person next to you? Now, why am I asking this question? Because you can go through the exact same set of circumstances as the person right next to you and have a completely different experience. Seems weird, I know, but it's true. Why is that? Why is it that you can have a completely different experience to somebody else who has gone through the exact same circumstances? And it comes down to a couple of things. One, realistically, and that's focus. But it morphs even further than that. This carries into responsibility. And you'll see the difference between those that do take responsibility and those that don't are massive. A massive chasm. It's a completely different story, completely different experience, funnily enough. Those that are willing to take responsibility for everything that goes on in their life have a completely different experience from those that aren't. It comes down to victim or victor mentality. Victim or victor mentality. So why are you having a completely different experience to somebody else who's had the exact same circumstances? It's because of where you look. It's exactly because of where you look. So you could continue to go on and have a shitty experience in life, or you can continue on and have a really amazing experience in life. It all comes down to where you focus and what you take responsibility for. If you want the good things in life, if you want to celebrate the good things and say, I made that happen, that's cool, as well you should. But that means you also have to turn around and say, you know what? All the bad shit that's going on in my life, I made that happen at some level too. I need to look at that. Now, an incident just happened with me recently, and I won't go into the details for it, but I had a little bit of I got off center, and I spoke to someone about it, and they gave me a lot of tough love and put me back on the straight and narrow. But when I reflected on that, I had a look at it, and I thought that it was just a recent trauma, but it's not. It was a trauma that I've carried since childhood. That was the trigger. And it came out in the open, and I didn't really think about it. Didn't really pay it much attention. It just sort of came out. I was asked a question, and I answered it quickly and honestly. And that was, I'm a piece of shit. Why did I get triggered from that? It's because I'm a piece of shit. Now, caveat, I know I'm not a piece of shit. I know I'm very cognizant of what I do, what I say, and how I treat people. And that's probably because of the trauma that I carry. But that was the immediate response. So where's that showing up for you? How is that showing up for you in different things? If you're not living the life that you want to live, if you're not having the results that you want to have, it's because somewhere there's something that is not yet uncovered for you. There's some layer of the onion that is not yet peeled back. You need to take responsibility for everything that's happening in your life. When you do that, when you can start to identify what those little things are, and you don't have to do anything about them, you just have to identify them. That's it. Once you've identified it, and I've said this previously on different webinars that I've done, once you've dumped it, it's dealt with. And what I mean by dump it, well, dump it, I'm usually writing, right? And it usually comes out on paper. So once I've dumped it onto the paper, it's dealt with at that level that you are ready to deal with it at, because it will change. It will change as you grow. So the immediate response to my trigger was, yeah, I'm a piece of shit, but now I earn a lot of money. So now I'm a piece of shit with money. But if I don't get money, then I'm just a piece of shit again. Now again, I know that that's not true. I know that that's not true, and people will take that and use it out of context. I don't really care. That's their karma, not mine. What I'm getting at is, I've identified that, and I can look at that and I can go, well, okay, I could look at it in that way, or I could choose to learn from it and go, I'm going to focus over here. I'm going to have a completely different experience from those with the same circumstances that want to focus on all the little inconsequential things. And when I say inconsequential, because it's not going to matter in a week, it's not going to matter in 2, it's not going to matter in 10. So it's inconsequential. If it was going to matter in 5 years, okay, then maybe we need to look at that. But if it's not, then it's inconsequential. And it should not take any more of your time than to recognize and go, that's what it is, that's what it was, I can move on now. But the fact remains, you are responsible for where you are in life. You're the only one that's there at every point. The only common denominator at 100% of the things that go on. Even the good things, which is great, celebrate those. But understand when the bad things go on, it's because of somewhere that you have focused or some energy that you have given out to receive that back. So if you want to receive good energy all the time, then give out good energy. Be a good bugger. Be a good bugger. It's simple, right? Where you focus on expands. So where you focus on expands, guys. You're responsible for all of it. You can have a completely different experience to somebody who's had the exact same circumstance. It is all a matter of how you perceive it. If you want to have better results, if you want to have better thoughts, well, actually, if you want to have better results, have better thoughts. It's as simple as that. Can't make it any plainer. Anyway, I gotta go. Ka kite anō. See you fellas soon.